What's up, everybody? All right, this is another Discreet Revelations, but this is gonna be about Japan, and so I'm gonna talk about when I went to the Philippines and what happened as far as the metaphysical. All right, I don't really know how to start. I'll start like this. In 2015, I started that point where I was able to get my own house built or whatever. You know, he's working on that. Built it out of bamboo and plywood and coconut leaves. You know, so house was built and I was living in it. So after a lot of prayer and things like that, praying a lot, all of a sudden a lot of metaphysical things start happening. And that was the time where the vision opened back up for Disney's Ant Farm when I had it in 2013, and then the vision went away, and but it came back in 2015 and picked up where we left off, where we was flighting and we escaped the gate, escaped the portal and went through the portal and all this and all that. Everybody was there, China's in there and all of that. So it picked back up, but not only that, I met a few men that were from Japan that were looking for help. And the first person I met was Sato Tekeru. I never met him on a social media or in the physical world. Like, I never met him face to face physically or nothing like that. I just went to sleep one night, came out of my body, and he was in my house. You know, I can come out my body and I'm still in my house, but I'm in the metaphysical world. And so he was at the door of my house, and he was like his knee, he was taking a knee with his sword in the ground. Like, he was taking the knee and the sword was in the ground like this, and he had his head down, and he was like listening or feeling if there's a way to get to America or the other side or across the water. He's looking for some kind of opening. They're looking for some kind of opening to get into America and spiritually, but they wasn't able to find an opening. So they was kind of dependent on me in a way. That's what I found out. But before that, I just saw him doing that, and his blade was red, like red light. The blade of it was red. It was the reverse blade, but it was red, and I touched it. Like, he wasn't moving or anything. He just was like there, really peaceful, really quiet. And the blade, you can tell, was a lot of animosity, like anime animosity. There was a lot of animosity in that blade. And I went with my hand and touched it, like, I grabbed it, like, and as soon as I put my hand near the blade, I was like, that hurt. In my dream, it hurt. Like, that thing burned, shorty. Like, what's... And then I realized, like, something going on. And so what happened was, I started talking to him, and we was sharing information about what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then, sorry, somebody came upstairs. And then and behind him was Sephiroth, a guy that was operating the Sephiroth. And he was like a Japanese politician or something like that. But he was an elder man, and he had the blade, the black blade, and he looked just like Sephiroth, except not in the face. He just looked like a Japanese man. And that was the time me and Michaela first had our meeting, and we were leaving. We left. We got out of there. In Japan, everybody around the world that was awake at that time that was with us left with us. And you already know who Michaela is. And so my house was taken too. He just lifted it out of the ground and just took it. Because it was a symbolization of something that I owned, and it had to be properly done. And in order for it to be properly done, it had to be something that I owned myself to take a house or something. It had to be in every way, every rule or something like that, every law or something like that. And so it was taken, and we were leaving. And then it just started getting more and more critical. you know, and they were testing me, trying to make sure that we'll make it, because it must have been something where they tried it a lot of times before, and a lot of people died, lost lives, souls were taken, and they were just trying to figure out how to get an exit, you know, to get out of escape the situation. They're trying to figure out, you know, and they found out, you know, I guess they found out that it was a guy from Disney named Gibson in China that escaped, and where they was trying their whole existence, but their whole lives or whatever. So here I am, I pops up and we're escaping, and they're trying to test as we going, like making sure. So the guy Sephiroth, or who was playing Sephiroth or whatever, dressed up just like him, he stabbed me in my rib with that black blade, and that's the first time I felt the pain of death. That is a negative pain. It like it erases you, and it's not like a sharp pain, a physical sharp pain, like it's more like a ugh, you know, like just taking you away, but it hurt, you know. What I wanted to say also was, when we start leveling up more and more and more, there were other people that start revealing themselves that were from Japan. You had Monty Unyum. He had actually died in the process of this. When we were leaving, he died, and what happened was Satan had him held tight. One of the Satans had him held tight, and he still had his mind though, and he was like, look, if you the one, then I'll leave this instantly. Like, he made a vow and was like, I'll follow you and all of this instantly, blah blah blah. And then I had ended up drawing it while I was in the Philippines. I ended up drawing it how Monty Unyum escaped death, but something happened to it. I tried to mail it to America and then pick it back up when I got to America, but it got lost in the mail somewhere to say goodbye. It's messed up how all my stuff got lost and stolen or taken or whatever. So anyway, Monty Unyum, he lost his life in the process of us leaving. He escaped all the way because he was all the way in the deepness of the dark space, taking images of what was going on, and like just out there, just taking images and sending them to me so that I can see what everything was looking like, because my eyes was messed up. My head was cracked and my eyes were shot and my chest was still broken out or shot out or whatever from living in America all this time or whatever the case. And so here it is, we're leaving. Monty Unyum is, every time you see something go on or hear something going on, you hear a picture taken, or like a camera or something like that going off, like taking pictures or snapshots, and you hear it, Monty Unyum, like some voice is saying it, like, yo, this is hard, shorty, like, yo, what's going on, where we going, yo, like, I'm tripping, like, where we going at, like, but it's because of me that we leaving. They just like took me and left, was like, you know, and everybody with me, you know. And so here it is, we gone. And so it was Monty Unyum. He was still with me, you know, within the Soul House. Also, who's in the Soul House is Yorahara from Bleach. He's there. Yorahara, the real Yorahara, the physical one. He's there, you know, and he has the green hat, you know, just like everything, you know. And he was helping with securing the house by making a lot of gates and doors so that nothing can come into the gates, but still the gates were being breached by demons and stuff anyway, because accepting people and having mercy on people, and, you know, having a lot of empathy and sympathy for people, letting them come in and stay. Oh, just save me, coming in, getting some rest and comfort, but don't want to comply with the system or the rules of the system to stay in the Soul House and end up bringing demons in. So that's what it was. They want to be saved, but they don't want to do what it takes to stay saved. Like, I just am the way I am type of people, but want to be safe. So it was happening like that. So Yorahara was one of the ones I seen when I was there in the Philippines. I was seeing only Japanese people. So the guy who played Sephiroth, Mr. Gulp, I'll go into that another time about Mr. Gulp. He was the one during the time of the liquefaction or the liquidation or whatever it was. Japan started, the ground was turning into liquid and stuff like that, and he was the one saying the water was still good and all that, and he drunk the water on TV. It was like, oh, the water's still good. I call him Mr. Gulp. He left with us the first time in 2013, and I had told him to stay safe in the house, in the ship, don't come out. And then when I came to the Philippines, then that's where Rurouni Kenshin, Sato Takeru, who played Rurouni Kenshin, and the guy who played Sephiroth, and then I met Ichigo, and then I met Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? I actually met them, and we were fighting together. So the only people that I fought alongside when we got to the point of that Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power thing, that actually happened too. Like, it wasn't just an anime. They just drew what actually happened when we was over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ascended. We got lifted up out of ourselves while we were asleep. Might not come back to our bodies, but we got lifted up, and there was a light pulling us up. Everybody was ascending. You were seeing people ascend before you. Like, you'll go to sleep one night and see somebody get pulled up into the sky, into the light. Like, yo, what the heck? And then you'll wake up and still be living your regular life. And then, excuse me, and then you be next. Like, one night you just be next. Like, then you getting pulled up. And next thing you know, you at this place where it's dark as I don't know what. The board, the ground or whatever that tournament, the field, you know what I'm trying to say, the stage, that was dark, very dark. The only light you saw was everybody fighting. It's the light, because there was a lot of people with energy. And as you was on it, it lifts up. Like the it's a little bit different, but it's similar. The playing field or the tournament stage, it ascends as you on it. It uses your energy to ascend, but at the same time, you are fighting, trying to be the top god or whatever. It's like one of the most critical, dangerous things that happened to the gods that were trying to be gods over the mankind. Like, China worship a dragon, somebody worship a horse, somebody else worship a cow. Everybody worship different things, and the gods of those, the governors of those animals or whatever. So what was happening was, you even got Jesus Christ in them. You even had all of them. You know what I'm saying? That were coming up there, demigods, coming up, demon gods really, coming up there, fighting each other. And it was one person, Jiren. All of them had evil intent, or they were all evil or whatever. That's why the gods of destruction were governing them, because they were evil. Whatever. They were like demigods, but the Satans were the ones, or the gods of the destruction were the Satans. And they were the ones more powerful than the ones that they brought up there. That's why I was looking like that. And then above the gods of the destructions were the angels that were above them. You know what I'm saying? And then even higher than them. That's why I was like that. And you was not understanding really. Like, you was looking at it like fight, fight, fight. You're not understanding the levels of this thing and why nobody's just all out fighting or whatever the case. So here it is. The first thing I saw when I had got pulled up, I just woke up into it, and I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you like some jewels, something good to look at after this video. But when I got pulled up, the first thing I saw was that I was gold. I had a gold body. I wasn't a soul or nothing. I was something different. Like, and I had wings. So I knew that I was like, what the heck? I look just like how I look now. Like, exactly like how I look now. But I was all gold or whatever. And so I was on a edge of the board, hovering off of the edge of the board, but like kind of like even with it, like barely like peekabooing over the board or whatever, waiting for something. I wasn't like just all out fighting. I wasn't just standing in the middle of the tournament stage where somebody can just attack me. I was hovering over the edge where I can just kind of like be at peace and relax and meditate. And I was meditating, and believe it or not, the tournament was describing someone that was not seen there that won the tournament. And I'm sorry to just say, but it was just the truth, okay? It's just the truth. And because I was there in the Philippines when all of this happened. And so Goku, the first thing I saw was Goku and Jiren. But Goku was the one that shot that Kamehameha wave right here.
I'll see you in hell!
after he did that, you know, when I watched it on the thing, it was like, that's not like, it felt wrong. It felt like, I already know I don't like Goku because he's a bad father. You know what I'm saying? Never raised his children, always trying to be the strongest. Like, yo, like, even when you're not on Earth, you like, I want to be the strongest. Like, I thought you wanted to be so strong to protect the Earth, but it ain't about the Earth why you want to be so strong. You just want to be the best. You just want to beat everybody. Who would that sound like? Satan. You want to beat everybody and be stronger than everybody. So you want, every time you see somebody that's stronger than you, you want to challenge them to try to prove you stronger than them. Like, why are you like that? That's evil. You know, and you know, here it is. He's up there, and when you watch Dragon Ball Super, if you watch it over again, just pay attention. Like, watch it just from the point that I watched, that showed the clip, and you'll see the most critical moment, the most fearful moment, dangerous moment I ever seen Goku be in on any anime, any Dragon Ball, anything, was that moment when he was on the Tournament of Power. He was scared to death. He was the most scared that he ever been. I ever seen Goku be, you know, and his Kamehameha wave, it was more real, more evil intended than I ever seen it before. It was the most dangerous, the most evil intended. And you're not noticing it because you're looking at fighting and everybody got power. But think about it. It was a test to show how Goku was actually evil. If you're looking at it right, it's showing you that he was evil for real. So they put a playing field. They played a game with him. Let's bring out some Saiyans. If Goku really is this guy that's all this and that or whatever, how would he treat his own people? Even though they don't come from the same universe he do, but they are fellow Saiyans. How would he treat them? Automatically, they're girls. One of the girls is very scared to death. He's not caring about none of that. He's just caring about beating somebody up and winning. But you don't know what this man really trying to win. And the only thing you thinking in your mind ever since the beginning of Dragon Ball is that Goku's trying to protect the Earth, trying to protect the Earth. But it's beyond that. Like, this man is crazy. Like, you really trying to destroy everything. You see the girl is up there crying. They played it. They flipped it, you know, in certain ways. And I'm going to play it for you. Okay.
く。
Okay, so you have Kale is crying because Khalifa is fighting Goku when she's like handling this man, like, and she's just now learning how to be a Super Saiyan and all this and all that. And it's like these Saiyans were different than the other Saiyans. For some reason, these Saiyans must have got pulled out of the Saiyan world, a evil Saiyan world, and got put into a holy Saiyan world, and they were living their own life on a different kind of Namek or whatever. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, a different kind of planet. And so here it is, Goku sees them, and, you know, Vegeta's a little different, showing that he's a little different here and there, trying to teach the boy how to be a Super Saiyan and all this stuff. He's being a good steward, but Goku is just like not caring about nobody, yo. You got really fighting that girl with all force, all power, and she's like, whatever. And then what you realize too is that Kale is like, I will not forgive you. You took my sister away from me. Why would she say that? That's something strange you should look at. It's a lot of different parts of strange parts in anime, like the time when Itachi Uchiha was fighting his brother, you know, Sasuke. That was a strange moment. Something that was not put together about the eyeball, how he took Sasuke's eyeball, put it in a glass jar with liquid, and then did this and then that. He never told you about what happened to the eyeball. You know what I'm saying? Different parts that were questionable. Never told you what happened to the Uchiha clan, but you see certain Uchiha clan peoples popping up here and there, and Boruto and all different parts of the show. You see them popping up here and there. So what really happened? What's really going on? So anyway, you see that in anime if you got an eye. So here it is. He's fighting this scared girl, and then this other girl, she's scared too. She's so scared that she's hyped up. She beefed up to Goku's level, just being scared. You know what I'm saying? Even though she had a strong face and was showing strength, but she was still equally scared as Kale. Kale was crying in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? As if she didn't belong there, or whatever the case, or she didn't want to be there, or whatever the case, or something happened where she didn't know what she got herself into, and she don't want to be there. And so here it is. Now she's realizing what she got herself into. She's crying, looking for a way out, praying and stuff. Really, what that is, symbolization of want to get out. And what happened was, the only way she knew to get out was to fight, to try to get strong. And so her reason to fight was losing someone. And so she's like, I won't forgive you, Goku, or whatever. What that was saying, that I won't forgive you, Goku, is meaning I won't give for you. You know how Goku always is asking for energy? Give me your energy, give me your energy. She won't give for him. So this is symbolizing a certain group of women in Japan that is not riding with Goku, as you see here.
I found out the 80% of Japanese anime is consist of transformation sequences. For example, Dragon Ball Z. What will you do, Goku? Commercial break. After break. What will you do, Goku? See you next week! When does he change?
So you see, KilaraComedy is trying to tell you in a comedic way that we don't really like, you know what I'm saying, ride with Goku. If you really saw Goku in his real form, he looked like just red energy, red and white energy. At least that's what I saw him as, red and white energy, and it's shining real bright, and it cuts you to look at him. Like it'll cut you, your metaphysical or your soul or whatever the case. It'll cut you just to look at him, and it hurt. Like ow, like looking at it, like yo, he bright, so bright that it cut you like a razor or something, and it just hurt to look at him. But if you got exalted in a form like to his, it wouldn't hurt. You can probably contend with him or whatever the case. But in a lower form, it's gonna hurt you. Like looking at the sun. But if you was, you know what I'm saying, shining like the sun, it wouldn't hurt to look at the sun. Anyway. So yeah. Kale is like, I won't give for you. All this take my energy stuff and da-da-da-da. Taking all these people energy, trying to be the top person, trying to be the best person, and all this hiding behind, I'm protecting the earth, just like the Transformers. We protecting the earth. Like, why y'all trying to protect the earth so much? It's so evil. The earth is evil, and you trying to protect it instead of trying to change it. Like, what's going on? What's about this word protect? What is really deep about this word? So anyway, she beefs up, turn into a Super Saiyan. She handles Goku. She tightens up. So she get power from somebody, you know what I'm saying, that she trusts in or somebody trusted in. And so here it is, she get power from someone that's not on the scene, you know what I'm saying, but it's not shown on the scene. And, she fights Goku. Goku having a hard time trying to handle it. Like, but you the strongest one. You're having a hard time trying to handle Kale for real. So that happens, and then that's one part that you notice. So the part comes when he really get crazy to kill them. It was Khalifa and Kale. They team up together and become one, and they're fighting Goku. It's like these women that don't want to side with the agenda that Goku's with or Satan is with. They're using whatever power source that is opposite of Satan to fight back, and it shows what they were trying to show you were little cutscenes where when they went all out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll see you in hell, like right here.
I'll see you in hell!
And when you see Goku almost getting hit, even though he's in Ultra Instinct, he's noticing that they're not on the same wavelength as him in order for him to be able to counter their attacks. It's the only way he can counter their attacks in Ultra Instinct is because you're on the same wavelength as him. So he can read you and move and da 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 da. But if you're not on the same wavelength as him, you can kind of counter him. That's how the angels were saying, like, we know Ultra Instinct too, but we still stronger than you. How is that possible? So if you know Ultra Instinct, the angels know Ultra Instinct, the God of Destruction know Ultra Instinct, they understand that it's about music, about the wavelength, the same sound frequency. You know what I'm saying? And you moving to the same beat. But if you're not moving to the same beat, like I ain't feeling that no more type stuff, then you can escape. You can find a way to get around that person's Ultra Instinct and beat them. So that's the trick to beat Goku's Ultra Instinct. It ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can do that. You know, so, and who got a better Ultra Instinct than black people? Anyway, so here it is. She's going all out. You know, the Khalifa and Kale, they going all out. And the part where you saw when he, like, his hair got hit, and then his shoulder, when he saw his shoulder almost get hit, notice Goku's eyes. He looked just like the non-canon Dragon Ball GT where he fought Satan. You know, the 10 Satans teamed up together and he tried to fight them. So it's like this new guy on the scene trying to be a god, and Satan comes on the scene to try him himself. And he's like, you know, it's this thing going on, but he got into that real form. The non-canon is the one where GT is the realest Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? The one that is, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people lose their lives for. One that you don't put on TV for everybody to see, or everybody not really watching that one. But that's where he got into that very demonistic evil mode when he realized that she really was going to kill him. And I never seen Goku look like that when he was fighting anybody before. Like, you look really, really like you trying to destroy utterly because you have this extreme hate this person you aren't trying to destroy. But everybody else you fighting, you just trying to make it look good. You just want to show. And then you die and then you come back to life and it was fun. That was fun or whatever. You know, but here is not fun anymore. It's really real. And so you had to come out the box. You know what I'm saying? Because you got called out. Things way above you then called you out. That's why it's called Dragon Ball Super, where you're dealing with gods now. The heavens. You're not dealing with just your own universe and some strong person in your universe, whatever. So here it is. Yeah, so he looking all scared. So he comes and then he hits her with the Kamehameha wave. And then, you know, and then the way they did it 3 times, like they did it like that, like, yo, like. They trying to tell you that what he did to those girls was extremely murderous. And that's what KilaraComedy was trying to say. Like, when will this end? This guy is powering up off of our energy. All this lust, all of this evil energy, all of this burning energy, he's consuming from us to fight and be strong on top of people and conquer the world or whatever the case. One of many. And so she's not with it no more. Like, when will it change and stuff like that? You know, when will this stop? When will somebody stop this Goku guy, this satanic guy that's running us? And everybody running with that demon energy. That's why you see a lot of animes have a lot of demons and transforming into different forms of demons. The more demons they have inside of them, or more power they get, the more energy from demons they get, or the more evil energy they get, they transform into some new form of a demonic thing. Sometimes it look tight or look good. Sometimes it looks really ugly. But it's always that. So that's that. And the next part was After that, I seen that. As soon as I saw, I went to sleep and woke up in the, you know what I'm saying? I went to sleep and saw that. Like, what the world? As soon as I saw it, like, you can hear it was scared. It was crazy. Like, yo, this is Dragon Ball Super, yo. Like, we really out here. You know, then he was like, Kame, I heard it. Like, Kame, way over there, like, Kame, I was like, yo, what the? Yo, that's just like on the show. But then something in me was like, yo, no. I felt the fear of the girls knew they were gonna die all the way, not exist anymore. So I somehow, some kind of way, I had power. Like, sometimes in your dreams you have no power. Sometimes in your dreams you have a lot of power. You know, dreams be funny like that. Sometimes you just be this weak person, can't control yourself, don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you got all this power, know what you're doing. But at that moment, I knew what I was doing. And I went out there. I had wings and everything. I was gold body, had wings. I ran right out there and instantly got there. Like, and then as soon as he did the part, I just hit that thing, like, you know, then hit him like, yo, calm. I did it like, yo, I like, calm down. Like, I just like, I don't want to get like that on camera for real in my physical form. But the way I was, if you saw it, it was like, yo. And then I hit him, and then he just popped for some reason. Like, all the energy in him just like went out of him, and he just dropped and hit the ground. Sorry about the dog. I knew that was gonna happen once I started making a video. But yeah. So it's just let you know I'm back in my house for a second. So I hit him, bow, and then he just fall, hit the ground, and then I went back to where I was at the edge of the stage, and so here it is. I'm hovering, and then I go back to sleep and I wake up. I'm like, yo, that was crazy. Then again, months or weeks later, hold on. So months or weeks later, it happened again. It comes back on. I'm hovering over the board, and then that's where I meet Sato again. Me and Sato was going for Jiren because it was a moment where we realized a lot of people from Japan, or a lot of women from Japan, were in him, and they was trying to get out. And inside of Jiren was like a world. It was like a world. And so we're going together. You know, I'm running, he's running towards Jiren. I'm running towards Jiren. And the way Jiren looked in the dream, you can't you realize it's not a dream when you look at his face and look into his eyes in the dream. You know it's not a dream. And it's like he's trying to find you, or whatever the case. And so we going over there, and it's taking years. It took 2 years to get to him. 2 years to get to this man, to slice him. It was like we were so intended to get to him and cut him in half to get the screaming women out of him, that's all we was doing. Schizophrenic episode, at least I was going to schizophrenic episodes doing this thing, just going at him. I had a bleed, and I was on the left side. Sato, who was Kenshin, was on the right side, and we both were side by side coming at this guy. Like, you gonna hit him from this side, I'm gonna hit him from that side. And so we was like, just, it was hard. I ain't gonna lie, it was hard because the intent was like, we're gonna get him out. It was just the extreme, and the intent was extremely extreme. Try not to beef up and really explain that thing. But yeah, yo, it was crazy. So it took about 2 years to get to him on that tournament field. Like, yo, that's how long it take. It's not like Earth where you just running. It took years to get to that man, to cut him. But he was moving at the same time, using his eyes to try to read your movements and trying to find you. It's trying to like counter your moves and whatever the case through his eyes. And he couldn't get in our eyes. So we was just still getting it. And so where's a moment where it seems like he evaded us or got away from us, where it pop up again, like getting closer and closer to him. So he would always look down and see us like about to cut him. No matter where he run at and think he's got away, we still right there about to cut him. And I knew that wasn't us doing that. That was the creator doing that. And he just couldn't get away. It was just our intent, our desire. We were being used like puppets, and our desires was being moved to like we were being controlled like puppets or whatever, like pawns. You know what I'm saying? Someone higher than us was using us. And so we finally got to him and we cut him. So when we did, we cut him and then we crossed like an X, and then we went and just like went somewhere else on the playing field. He went that way, I went that way, and I didn't even see Sato no more, and then he didn't see me anymore.
誰一人とて死なせはしない。
オラたちの力見せてやる。
Maybe we meet back up again later, but that's how that thing was big. It's like really big and dark, and it's crazy. But yeah, we cut him in half, and then the women inside of him, we got out the souls. We got out and we put them in the soul house, you know, and we just kept on going. And then I like told Sato, like, man, like we kind of had a thing where like stay in my soul house type of thing. You know, kind of was like a bully a little bit, trying to bully me a little bit, like, you know, pushing me all the time. And every time I go to sleep and have a dream, he be bullying me, pushing me, like he know I don't believe this is real. So he be always bullying me, like pushing me, like, you wake now, you wake, like you good, like a brother or like a friend. And they just trying to make sure I'm good, like I'm on my toes. That was the same time I saw Tyrese Gibson, right there in the Philippines in my house. But I'm like, what you doing? Like what you doing right here? He was Green Lantern when they was going to do the role for Green Lantern, but instead of have the green light, he had the pure white light. And it was funny, man. It wasn't funny, but it was funny. Like, you was just right there, like, man, I ain't going out there. It was a whole bunch of death bleeds swinging everywhere, looking like fans. You know what I'm saying? Swinging just everywhere. Like, you go out there, you're going to get cut and you're going to die. Everywhere in the Philippines, it was like that. In the water, over the water, on the land, a big, huge death ball over the water. Death balls everywhere. You couldn't go nowhere without getting cut by those balls. And so Tyrese was like sitting there in my house like, yo, this is the safest place. They can't get in here. They can't get in here. For some reason, whatever, you know, how I was praying, serving the Most High Yah, they couldn't get in. Death couldn't get in. So he was safe right there. You know, so it was a lot going on. That's when I met Yoshimitsu. You know, Yoshimitsu, before he was all monstered up, transformed further and further with the demon power that he was harnessing to fight in the tournaments, Tekken tournaments and stuff like that, he looked like a person. He looked like a regular old Japanese person with just a demon mask on. But serving that demon, that's the mask was symbolizing as a samurai, is all demon power. So you can be a samurai, but you don't got to harness the demon power to be a samurai. You just got a blade. It's just what God you're going to harness to be the power of your blade. And so it just was that. But his intentions were good. But he used the wrong, whatever energy or whatever power was known to him, whatever culture that he was accustomed to, he used to the very intent, with the pure intent to fight. And that's where you see in Tekken 1 is Yoshimitsu and Kunamitsu. But you don't be seeing Kunamitsu until later. That she'll pop up if you know a secret code or whatever, or beat the game some kind of way and you get her or whatever. You don't be seeing Kunamitsu. You know, after a while, you just see her in Tekken 1 on the scene. Yoshimitsu, then Kunamitsu. They both, you know what I'm saying, got masks on, you know. But before, under the mask, it was just Yoshimitsu and Kunamitsu. They were their husband and wife, you know. And you can Google that too, but that's how it was. But I fought alongside Yoshimitsu too, because he was trying to find a way out too, fighting to death and stuff like that, harnessing whatever power he could. And he rode with us too. Every time when we was in fight and flight, man, first person out there was Yoshimitsu. Every time, Yoshimitsu. I gave him a new name, but it's a similar name. Instead of Yoshimitsu, I call him Yahoshimitsu. I put the creator's name in him because we made it. So I gave him a new name. I said Yahoshimitsu instead of Yoshimitsu. You know, Yahoshimitsu. And so he go right out there. And he loud. Like the sound, the surround sound was loud in the dream. Like, you go out there, then it's like grid mode, and then you had the Celestials was riding with us. You had Celestial Blue was riding with us. Had all of the blue celestial constellations and stuff that was riding with her that didn't want to stay behind. And then you had Celestial Orange was riding with us, and you had Celestial Purple was riding with us, and they were hanging on to us, and they went to sleep. It's like they were attached to my wing or some kind of way, and they went to sleep. So it was like, it's like hard to explain. It's like you can expand and then like unexpand. You know what I'm trying to say? You can expand and come condense again. So when you expand, you see the whole me, as in what my form is, you know. And then when I became a rabbi, that has became my form. I graduated, became an archangel, and then so from that form you can condense and then come back down to see the smaller things that's going on that still look big when you condense, but it's like still smaller things. And so you see them hanging on, the people of the constellations of the second heaven hanging on, and you see the turbulence and all that. They like, they sleep though, just like they got their eyes closed, like sleep and flight, like just big balls of light. Just they like condensed their light. They stopped shining and kind of like dwindled their light, and then just hung on, like gave that power to the ship to keep everybody, put that energy into the ship to recycle the ship, which was me, to keep going. And at that time we had to take steps. Mikaela had to take every left step. I had to take every right step. Every 3 years we was doing this. So I'm running, she running, and every time we took that step, it was critical. But the first time we got out of there, she took that step first because I didn't know what was going on. And she broke her ankle. She popped her ankle. And because she was scared to death, and she ran for her life, and she didn't have enough resh. In Hebrew, resh is like wings. It's like you don't have enough wings to reach the point you're trying to reach. So she overexerted herself and ended up breaking her ankle trying to reach the point, you know, with extreme fear. And then she popped her right ankle, and then I'm like, what the heck? I'm in my little house in the Philippines being dragged along as I'm seeing this like a movie out there. Like, yo, what's going on out there? Like looking into space, like stuff moving, but I'm moving with it, and I'm in my house. What the heck? You know? And so she pops her ankle, but something told me that I knew what to do exactly. So I went right out there and healed her ankle, and like time slowed down. Like when it popped, if I held my breath, for some reason I held my breath, and when I held my breath, time slowed down, like, and then I ran out there, and as long as I can hold my breath is as long as the time is condensed or slows down. So it went from like live to like it was condensed into like 3 minutes, 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying, an hour, you know. Then it just the time kept getting longer and longer the longer I was holding my breath. And so I was healing her ankle while it popped. Like it's right at that pop, and it was a loud one. It was like a noise, like loud noise, like pow, echoing in the space, like pow, and you heard her ankle break, like pow, like God. And I ran out there to heal it, shot some kind of power out my hand or whatever whatever I was doing. I just knew what I was doing, and I just healed it. So I had the power to heal, and I just went all the way around her ankle, sealing it, and I just healed that thing, put everything into it. You know what I'm saying? Got a crick in my neck, going to the neural system messing up, just all that. I went to a straight schizophrenic episode doing that. Healed the whole ankle, and her ankle became an ankle bracelet of marriage. But I didn't know that at the time. I just thought I healed it. But later on, I found out that it was a symbol of marriage. Once we reached a point where I graduated all the way, and then we would be together. So now it's starting to manifest physically, and I'm finding out who she is physically, you know. And it's just like I found out who she was. She found me, rather. She found me first, and then kind of like, you know, playing dumb, but at the same time, like, you know, I need you, you mine, like. But anyway, yeah, that happened like that. But we was on a fight and flight for a minute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure other people saw it, but yeah, when them celestials was hanging on, shorty, celestial blue, purple, and orange, which was the sun and his children. Every time, like, Satan would have someone powerful enough to chase us down, because we were saving souls at the same time, and when we were saving souls, Satan would be chasing them down. So while we were trying to get him, he was chasing them down. And you had the David and Tamela, man, they was in there. They was in the medical room where all of the pods was at, where the souls was in the pods at first, safe in the pods, and they would sleep. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the nurses that were in there that were dead already, but they were in there. They were like heal the people and flush them out, flush the demons out of their souls and cleanse them and give them new life and recreate their soul with my soul or whatever. And so that's what was going on in the medical room when we was putting people in pods. This was way before Black Lightning came out. And then At first it was like, you know, everybody was there at the gates. Whenever somebody would come out of the Hellbound world, we would pull them out. Or Disney, whatever world it was, we would pull them out. Porn stars, all kinds of people. We would pull their souls out. And the demons that would be, you know, cleaving behind them, we would be shooting at them like, trat, trat, trat. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But it was more like the power was strong. So strong you didn't realize it. Like, they wanted to see how strong it was, especially David and Timella Man. They was always at the gate, like, shooting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Man was like just getting it. But the power was so strong that, like, if you shoot or whatever the case with at the right moment when your intent was at the most extreme and you shoot the gun, it'll blow up a lot. It could even pop the whole world or the person. Like, we were destroying people's imaginary worlds and bringing them into my imaginary world. And so my imaginary world was one with theirs, and so they no longer had an imaginary world. We were destroying their minds.
You know what happened?
Boom! That's what I'm talking about, man.
My shots were so clean that going clean through the watermelon.
That's not.
And giving them new minds, which was in mine. So that's what we were doing as we were saving them. Popping their whole, like, everybody had their own earth in their mind. Like, everybody in the same city has an imagination of how to go down the same street in their mind. You know what I'm saying? But they have different memories of it or experiences of going down that same street. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was doing this on the street. And then another person, I remember I was doing this on the street. Person 70 years old, I remember when this street ain't even have all this and I was doing this on the street. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. So everybody has a world in their own mind, and we destroyed every last one of their worlds and brought them in mind. And that's what the guns were doing. Popping their worlds, like, pop, with pure white light, just eviscerating it, cleaning it all out, like, you know, like bleach. And so it was like that. Pow, blow up, you get shot. The wave was so strong that it'll hit you back and you hit the wall, and like everybody was extremely not playing. Like, even though they got pushed back, they were like, F that, still shooting, like trying to get the demons from chasing the people down so the souls can be cleansed and flushed. Some people had demon children inside of them and stuff like that, and was trying to birth a demon child into the world, or was a satanic child was trying to be born into the world, like on Constantine, was trying to be born into the world through certain people, and we had to like break the people from that. It's like people in unions that they're not supposed to be in, and they end up getting pregnant by somebody that's demonic. You know what I'm saying? Part of some secret thing, Satanist type thing, and a demon child is trying to be born through that person, and then we would cut that demon off. And the umbilical cord was so big that it took a while to cut that thing through. It was a big giant demon, like in the sky, like with wings, looking real fleshy but still spiritual at the same time, like a spiritual flesh, not metaphysical at all. It looked like flesh, but in the spiritual, it looked nasty. I'm like, cut that thing, get out of here, I ain't coming in here. And we just cut it. We wouldn't destroy, just cut it. And then out of nowhere, it would get enclosed by the ball, and then it would just disappear. So I knew that was the Most High, like removing that demon baby, something we couldn't handle. But yeah, so it was all kinds of stuff going on, yo. I can go on and on about this. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, back road, but like I said, Yoshimitsu, he will always be the first one to go out there on the grid soon as somebody would be chasing us down, some demon or something be, you know, chasing us down, and you hear it like an automated system, like, you know, detected by Satan. Then the grid will come out, the celestial blue, celestial purple, and celestial orange. They would like squint their eyes, like, and then light would come out of their eyes, and then they would form a grid. And then Yoshimitsu, first one on that, you can hear him, like he sound just like how he sound in Tekken, fighting you, spinning, cutting you, but like, yo, he getting it, you killing him. He not playing out there like Yoshimitsu, shorty, he not playing. Like every time he hits somebody, he's like, then you hear the music out there, he fighting to the music, I'm like, yo, that's hard, like you can't put this in the movies. Well, if you put that in the movie, it would take time, shorty. That thing was too in sync. Like, everybody fought to the beat perfectly. Every step, every snare, every drum, every this, every heavenly sound, every angel sing, everything, everything was on beat perfectly. Eyes lit up, like looking like rainbows. Everybody eyes lit up with the extreme intent to like kill Satan, to try to get away. Nobody was playing on that level. Nobody was playing on Earth. We just like regular. But when we was in that mode, it was not just me. Everybody that was out there was not playing, yo. I mean, and you should have done that same move Yoshimitsu hit in Tekken, shorty, when he clip you, like he clip you and then hit you like pow, and he just hit you, he clip you and then hit you, pow, hit you, you know, and you kind of fall back or whatever, and you land on, hit your back on the ground.
Round 1, fight.
He did something more serious than that. He was like mad. He clip you, but when he clip you, he kind of like spin off the ground and then cut you backwards. Like he cut you from your back to your front. So it's like he spin instead of clip you and then come back and hit you with his fist like and then hit you on the ground. He clip you and keep spinning, and then with the blade and then cut you in half and then keep like not playing with you, yo. Man, he real bouncy with it, yo. He like not playing, yo. That's why he fight like he dancing. It's music playing when Yoshimitsu fighting. He not playing, yo. He not playing, shorty. He be like that. For real. Anything come out on that grid, you getting done. I be looking at Yoshimitsu like, yo, get him, yo, like a little child or little child or something. Get him, you know. And there were other scenes too, you know, that started this whole process of me losing my mind from a child up. What you call them, crackhead babies or whatever. But from the child up, when Maximum Carnage first came out in the 90s on Genesis. Sorry about this and sorry about all that. It's crazy, shorty. Like, it was just crazy, man. It's crazy. It's fighting, it was just too much, yo. But it wasn't vain fighting. It wasn't just like we fighting to be the best. We was really running for our lives, because when everybody realized we, in 2013, escaped, me and China and those that was with us, they tried to come back and they tried to escape with us. They tried to escape with us. Like, please come back, you know, and help us get out. I didn't know that it was like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I'm living my life. I'm living my life in every way, especially physically, the way I'm supposed to live it. I'm living right. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to live right, to have the power to reach the Creator, to be safe by the Creator, you know. And everybody else is still just playing, shaking and baking and doing all kinds of stupid stuff to survive and still want to be saved. So it's like, at the same time, you got to show a lot of humility and meekness and patience and long suffering to save them in their mess, and still they ain't changing, and you still got to be protecting them. And it's just nerve-wracking. People got all kinds of power, all kinds of spiritually powerful angels and all kinds of stuff, and they still not like living right on earth. Like, it matters how you live on physical earth. That's the whole point to be here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, people just not doing it right. Lying, you know, and stuff like that. Talking about something, they just kidding around, playing, riddling, but you just lying for real. All of that. People so scared, not trusting that the Creator will protect them. But at the same time, you can understand why, which is the reason why we saving them. Because they don't understand, have no example of what the Creator's like. So we saving them, trying to give them a chance to understand, so that they can make a fair choice to be like, I want to serve the Creator or not. You know, if you taught your whole life that Jesus is the Savior, of course you ain't going to meet the Creator ever. You're going to be like lost in the sauce, because the Savior is not Jesus. You're going to be lost because the whole world got deceived by the evil one. And so everybody living a deception. So that's how it is. But and really believing in it hard, faithful, like Jesus is the Lord, and not like, because everybody believe it. By now you should already know everything that everybody worship that is the most popular thing in the world today is the most wrong thing. The most popular thing is the most wrong thing. The most famous things in the world is the most wrong things. What do you see the most of? Islam and Christians. The two most wrong things you can be. Everything. It's on TV. You get a lot of media time all over the planet. You got churches all over the planet. You just all over the planet. Of course, you're the most evil things out there, and people be holding on to it. Like, their love for the truth is not strong enough to actually be like, forget that. I love the truth more than anything, so I'm just gonna speak the truth even out my physical mouth. People don't love the truth enough. That's why Truth got cast down, and she didn't like the creation of mankind, because they would not like her. They would not stand for her. Like, what? For a lie? You know what I'm saying? She didn't like. So she got cast down and became the spirit of the waters. She tried to help people's minds out. So she's blue or whatever. So anyway.
It's time to talk.
About what?
About us.
Shepard, listen, I'm glad you're here.
Are you worried there might be terminals you need me to hack?
That's not fair. You were dead.
I came back.
Yes, you came back, and I've been tossed aside for a tattooed woman with anger issues.
So anyway, that Truth is the Torah, you know, whatever. I don't want to go too into that, but I'm saying a whole lot, you know, for a lot of people to feed off of. It's a lot of discreet people that's, you know, scared, that need somebody to actually bring that thing out, that's not scared. So that's that. Yoshimitsu, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna put up, you know, try to put more cutscenes into this thing, or maybe I did, whatever. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that happened, yo, a whole lot, and there's still more to explain. You know, even in the spiritual world, I was on The View with Raven Simone, and she was like, "You see my weapon right here, my friend, my buddy, da 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 da." She was putting me on The View, and I'm like, yo, how I'm on The View from the Philippines, and I'm in this little teeny box cubicle, bamboo, coconut leaves roof house in the middle of nowhere in the Philippines, and I'm on The View in my dream, and everybody seeing me on TV and all this and all that. And Raven Simone's eyes, man, she got the eyes, shorty. You talking about genjutsu? No, she got it. She always creating the eyes. When it came to the eyes from my eyes or whatever, she repaired them. And she always upgrading the eyes to do something else, like to be able to do something new, or be stronger, or be more protected. You know, so that when we watch TV in the Soul House, it is like our eyes or whatever. And so you're looking through the eyes, and the screen has shielding. And so it's like, that's what she was creating. So it's like for your eyes. And she was like, not playing. It took like, I don't know how many, like a few days for her eyes to get back to normal after that last schizophrenic episode when we was with Japan, when we was escaping that time, bringing everybody else out with Sato, or you know, Sasuke and Ichigo and all of them. This is the only 3 people I was with. I mean, 4 people: Yodohara, Kenshin, Sasuke, Ichigo. The only, and then Yoshimitsu. 5, sorry about that. The only 5 people that I was riding with when I was there, that was like really fighting alongside me, like getting it. If we die, we die, like type of deal. But we gonna save our people. Got a lot of people out of the death ball. It was crazy, man. It was screams. You can hear screams. You'll go to sleep, wake up in the spirit world, you hear people screaming. A lot of Asian people from China, from Japan, they screaming in your dreams, but it's not a dream, like you really there. Feel the wind and all that. They screaming and stuff over the water. This black ball Dr. Robotnik just hovering with them, and then left and right, going left and right, to and fro, back and forth, and they in there screaming and torment. Grinded their souls into liquid, and it looked like red liquid. You know, that was the first time. That's the first thing the second thing I saw. The first thing was just like this war or whatever. But the second thing I saw was that. Like, yo, what the heck? I woke up and I heard the scream like, ah. I was like the most eeriest. Like, yo, what the is that, yo? Like, what's going on over there? Instantly, I start running. I ain't talking to nobody. I saw people standing by me. You know, a few people from Japan, from Philippines, men, they were soldiers in the military of their country. And they was beside me, on my left and on my right side. They wanted to see what I was going to do. They wouldn't go out there to the screams because they didn't have the power to fight that thing. It's a big black ball over the ocean. I went straight out there. Ran across the water and everything. I was used to doing that. By the time I turned 12, I knew how to fly in my sleep. I knew how to fly in my dreams. I can fly. Trained myself how to fly. And then I trained myself how to walk on water, then run on water. Like, I trained myself. Just thinking it was a fun thing. But then it turned out I did it. Ran right out there. They went right with me too. As soon as I went, they went too. Straight broke that ball. Broke it in half. Like, chill, shorty. What's your problem, boy? I don't know what it was. No matter what it was, I fought. It's just more like, but what is your problem, boy? Like, I got this power or something. Just always stopping whatever it is. And then calmed it down. It stopped spinning. It was spinning like, whoop, 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 whoop. Then it stopped spinning like, whoop, whoop, and then it stopped. And then I cracked it open. And then we looked in there. And then when I cracked it open, all of us was looking in there, like, looking at each other like we got them out. Got all the liquid out. And there was a lot of the women from Japan that didn't ride with the evil. They was not giving that energy to Goku. They was against it. And that's where you see, that's where that connects to the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, where Kale and Khalifa were against Goku, you know, and they didn't like him. They kind of exposed him, like, we don't like you for real. You were saying, but we don't like you. So that's who you listen to them. You know what I'm saying? And you notice how the little boy saying was different than how Goku was and Vegeta was. He was more soft-spoken, more pious, more modest. You know what I'm saying? You notice he was more holy of a Saiyan than they was. So you knew it was two different sides, the holy side and the evil. So it was like that. It's too much, y'all. But with that, I'm gonna just yield on that. That should be enough for you to eat. And with that, shalom, shalom.
お前なかなかできそうだな。流派はどこだ？
拙者の剣は飛天御剣流。いざ勝負。今だ。九十流拳。これが拙者の本気でござる。飛天御剣流を天かける竜の面感謝でござる。誰一人とて死なせはしない。
オラたちの力見せてやる。
見せてやる。有名戦。
I do not understand this input.
What language are you speaking, Oscar? Parlez-vous français? Taler du dansk? Habla español? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Parle Italiano? Oh! Hey, no! No, wait!
Don't you get it? It's a witness that can identify him!
No, stop! Please! Not just the shell! Not disassemble! I'm alive! No, no, please! I'm alive! No! Stop! No, do not kill me! No!
The movie! Get it! Hit it! Hit it! Hit it! Rip it apart! Take his heads off! Hit it! Finish it off! Hey! What the hell? Come back here! Hey, come back here! Good! Look out! Hey! Those things can kill ya! We don't keep going down! Yeah! Oh! You're okay now.
Am not human, but am a life form. Have soul. That he me kill to try.
Wait a minute, J5. What do you think you're gonna do?
Pursue, capture, incarcerate.
Come on now, man. These are serious guys. You're not in top form and your backup battery's used up.
I'm okay. Hey, just a few bitty Bugs Bunny to work out in. Perfectly functionality.
Yeah, sure. Listen to yourself. You can't even talk straight.
Sir, a life form's gotta do what a life form's gotta do. Stand aside.